Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, November 7th, 2022. And we begin with more than 50 high school students in El Paso, Texas, scrambling after their completed SAT tests flew out of the back of a UPS truck. The company says it was human error, most likely an unsecured back door that sent the paper blowing across a busy road. According to the school district, some tests were retrieved, but about half were destroyed or damaged, and all are considered invalid, even though the scores were electronically sent ahead to the College Board because the answers could have been tampered with during the melee. For affected kids, that means their results won't count. They need to decide whether to retake it, and they can no longer apply early because their new scores won't arrive in time. The school district is reportedly working with a testing organization on a solution. On the other side of Texas, celebration. At 11 a.m. today, Astro fans will descend on downtown Houston to honor their World Series champions. The Astros took down the Phillies in 6 games to claim their first title since their tainted sign-stealing scandal in 2017. It's also the first ring for Dusty Baker as a manager. He spent 30 years helming a variety of clubs, but hadn't won as a skipper until now. District-wide, Houston students will be allowed to play hooky so they can join thousands of others on the parade route. NASA is giving its massive moon rocket another go. The 322-foot space launch system rolled out of its hangar for the painstakingly slow 4-mile, 9-hour crawl to the launch pad and is now ready for another attempt at blast-off 1 week from today at 12:07 a.m. For engineers, getting the rocket off the ground has been an exercise in frustration. Faulty sensors, fuel leaks, and Hurricane Ian upended its first 3 tries, and a heavy rainstorm in the forecast could mess with the 4th. If it does take off, it'll be carrying Commander Moonikin and 2 other test dummies to make sure the ride is safe for humans when they climb aboard as early as next year. No need to wait until next week for some moon action. Starting at 5:16 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, we're in for a total lunar eclipse, which happens when the Earth, Moon, and Sun align in such a way that Earth casts its shadow completely over the Moon's surface. It'll last 85 minutes. Just about all of North America will get a front row seat, and it's safe to watch with the naked eye. This is the first total eclipse to ever correspond with Election Day in the U.S. As NASA posted, it'll add a little celestial magic to the midterms. A lot is riding on the vote, as the results could change the balance of power in Congress. Never has a jackpot been this big. Tonight's Powerball drawing is worth a record $1.9 billion after no one matched all the numbers on Saturday. It was the 40th straight drawing without a winner. Powerball is played in 45 of the 50 states. Alabama, Utah, Nevada, Hawaii, and Alaska do not participate. And in KidNuz Sports, American Katie Ledecky has done it again. A week after obliterating the world record in the 1,500-meter short course freestyle swim, she blew the doors off the 800 in Indianapolis. Katie shaved 2 seconds off the previous record and finished 10 full seconds before her nearest competitor. A teenager has taken down a tennis titan. 19-year-old Holger Rune of Denmark beat 21-time Grand Slam winner Novak Djokovic at the Paris Open over the weekend. The victory makes Holger the youngest champion in Paris since Boris Becker in 1986 and ranks him in the top 10 for the first time. And 2 Kenyans running their first New York City marathon own the race, one on the women's side, the other for the men. Nearly 50,000 people took part in what was the first full race since the pandemic began. A few celebrities joined in, including football great Tiki Barber and actors Ashton Kutcher and Ellie Kemper. That's it for KidNuz. A reminder that our podcast is a nonprofit that runs on your generosity. Donations or sponsorships can be made at kidnuz.org. Now, today's quiz. What flew out of a UPS truck in El Paso, Texas? Dozens of completed SAT tests. When will NASA try again to launch its moon rocket? A week from today. What celestial event will take place before dawn tomorrow? A total lunar eclipse. How big is tonight's record-setting Powerball jackpot? $1.9 billion. In today's KidNuz Kicker, we aren't sure why anyone would want to do this, but the National Park Service is warning people against it. The "it" being putting a Sonoran desert toad, which is found in the American Southwest, in your mouth. The toads are 7 inches long and have glands behind their eyes that secrete a liquid that can make people and animals sick. The Park Service cheekily refers to the toad in question as Hypnotoad, a meme star from the animated show Futurama. In the "Can't Believe This Has to Be Said" thread, the Park Service tweeted, "As we say with most things you come across in a national park, whether it be a banana slug, unfamiliar mushroom, or a large toad with glowing eyes in the dead of night, please refrain from licking." Before we go, we want to shout out our KidNuz classroom, starting with Ms. Wells and her junior jackets at Lincoln Elementary in Hibbing, Minnesota. Mrs. Jarvis and her amazing pirates at Ezra E.B. in Napoleon, Michigan. Mrs. Yu's Casa 5 class at Eaton School in Bellevue, Washington. And a special hello submitted by Camden and Carson in Mrs. Elliott's class at Nevada Middle School in Nevada, Iowa, to welcome her back after some health issues. Mrs. Elliott, Camden, and Carson hope this shout-out gives you a little something to smile about. And so do we. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.